Project Phase 2, and I will be discussing why is there a high turnover for school teachers in our society today. So that is the reason that I'm doing this actual PowerPoint for this improvement project phase. And my problem statement, why is there a high turnover for school teachers in society today? There is a high turnover among new teachers in public schools, which undermines the school stability and it hurts the students' achievement, because you have classes that there's a huge turnover of teachers because there's no classroom management skills. So they're not able to manage their classes as far as being able to teach at the same time. So if there's no collaboration with the new teachers, then you have a high turnover for teachers that are coming out of college straight into the profession, and then there's no professional development for them. So that's why there's a huge turnover. So you'll see this in this PowerPoint. Why do they leave? There are several reasons. One, there's inadequate preparation. There's lack of support for new teachers. There is challenging conditions, dissatisfaction with the compensation. They have better career opportunities and personal reasons. So what I have seen in the past years that I have been teaching and watching teachers come and go, that the main two reasons would be the inadequate preparation and the lack of support for new teachers, because they're not getting the actual information that they need on how to manage their classrooms. So without the preparation and without the support, then you see this high turnover of why new teachers leave. Okay, so stakeholders. These are the people that we have to get involved in the process for making sure that our students are getting the quality education are as follows. You have your community leaders, you have your parents and your guardians, you have your teachers, your faculty and staff, and then last but not least, you have your students. So once we get all of these people involved in the process, then those new teachers can feel like they're valued because of the collaboration that they have with the community leaders, with the parents, with the teachers, with the faculty, the administration, and most of all, the students. So we're supposed to be a community, but if they don't have that collaboration with all of these stakeholders, then that's the reason why most of them leave. Proposed solution. So we know that this situation didn't happen overnight, and we know that it cannot be fixed, but this can be, there's 5 ways or keys that we can use to kind of like combat the problem. One of them is alternative certifications. There's financial incentives. There's induction and mentorships. There's evaluations and feedback. And then you have teacher leadership. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at the very first one, talking about alternative certifications. These are programs where those who did not graduate with an education degree, they can actually go into a program that would give them their teaching certificate as an alternative, because that's what they did not go to school for. So there's programs out there that's helping those who are in the field of, say, for example, if they're a welding instructor and they want to get into the school system, they can go through a program that would give them their certification for them to actually teach that particular craft and go into the school systems or go into post-secondary education. So that's what we mean by alternative certifications. Then you have your financial incentives, talking about the salaries. There's a lot of states that are going on strike because there's no compensation for what we do on a daily basis. So we have to have some type of incentive that would bring those in who are wanting to get into the education field, such as loan forgiveness, housing assistance, tuition reimbursement, and scholarships. Also, there's an induction and mentorship, meaning that you have You're giving constructive feedback to new teachers that would allow them to be able to manage their classroom from veteran teachers. So when they have that classroom management skill, then they're able to do what they're supposed to do and get their classrooms to run like they're supposed to and the students to learn. Evaluations and feedback. Effective feedback boosts the retention of your new teachers because they will be able to see their weaknesses and their strengths in the classroom and will be able to make the necessary adjustments on how their classrooms are to operate. So making sure that they get positive as well as constructive feedback and fair evaluations. And last but not least, teacher leadership, making sure that your teachers have professional development opportunities that will include teachers serving as department chairs, school-wide coachings for coaches for teachers, and creating and presenting workshops. So we know that this problem will not be solved overnight, but at least we have a starting point. And so this is kind of like a timeline of a first-year teacher on what it should look like. So starting in August to September is like the first days of school. So that's the anticipation phase, meaning that I'm anxious to see what my classroom is going to look like, as well as my students. How will they respond to me? How I will respond to them. You know, I'm anxious to see what's going to happen. Then you get into the survival stages or phases, which is from October to November. And that's like the 9 weeks of school. And I'm like, oh my God, did I really choose or decide that this is going to be what I want to do for the rest of my life? I don't know. This is survival. So I'm trying to get through till Thanksgiving, because then I got Thanksgiving and then I got Christmas. So I'm in survival mode. Then you have what you call disillusionment phase. That's December through January, where I don't know, I must have lost my mind in order for me to figure out what I'm going to do with these children because they're not wanting to learn. So then the holidays roll around. You got Christmas and then you have New Year's. So then when I come back to school, then I have what you call rejuvenation phase. I'm excited because now I had some time to think. I have some time to refocus myself on how I'm going to handle my students once I get back to class. And so I just have a whole new look on life, on what's going to happen. So that's my rejuvenation phase. Then the last phase is my reflection phase, which is at the end of the school year, meaning that I'm looking back from August up until May. What did I do? What did I accomplish? Did I reach a student? Did they gain what I was giving them? Were they able to grasp what I was teaching? So this is the reflection phase of a first-year teacher. So they can decide whether or not this is going to be a profession that I want to either retire in or I'm going to take off and run. And communication is key. So the different ways that we would convey this information to new teachers and to our stakeholders would be by several different means of communication. We would use social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We would also use the media. We would use television, radio, and newspaper. We would also do mailings, and we would also use the phones, the landline and cell phones. And those are my references. And so I would like to thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope that this will bring some light onto why we have new teachers leaving the profession. Thank you, and have a good day.